Hello everyone, welcome to the class of history, and today we are going to cover a very interesting topic, that is unification of Italy. So let's begin. Italy had a long history of political fragmentation. Italians were scattered over several dynastic states as well as the multinational Habsburg Empire. And during the middle of the 19th century, Italy was divided into seven states. If you can see this map and you can imagine this Italy divided into seven states. So that means Italy was divided into very small states, and there was a time when Italy was eliminated from the map of the world also, because it was divided into so many small states, of which only one state, that is Sardinia, Piedmont, was ruled by an Italian princely house. This meant that only one state out of seven states have Italian prince. Rest all other states were dominated by other powers. The north was under Austrian Habsburg. The center was ruled by the Pope. If you can see in the map the papal states, this means the Pope, and the southern regions were under the domination of the Bourbon kings of Spain, that is the kingdom of two Sicilies. This region was under the domination of the Bourbon kings of Spain. Even the Italian language had not acquired one common form and still had many regional and local variations. Now, this becomes very, very difficult when you have to develop the feeling of nationalism amongst the masses. You have to have certain things in common on the basis of which you unite them. You have to have some common platforms on which you can tell them, okay, see, we belong to the same nation. So there were many obstacles in the way of Italian unification, and this was also one of the obstacles, that even the Italian language was not one, because it had a lot of regional and local variations. But then there were many people and many revolutionaries who wanted to see Italy as unified, and one of them was Giuseppe Mazzini. Now, during 1830s, Mazzini had sought to put together a rational program for a unitary Italian Republic, and he also formed a secret society called Young Italy for the propagation of his goals. Now, Mazzini very strongly believed that God had intended nations to be the natural units of mankind, so Italy could not continue to be a patchwork of small states and kingdom. It had to be forged into a single unified republic. Now, in a very young age, he was a young man of 24 when he was sent to exile. And now, exile means he was asked to leave the country in 1831 for attempting a revolution in Liguria. Now, once these revolutions failed, the revolutionary uprisings which failed in 1831 and 1848, this clearly proved one thing, that now the whole responsibility has fell on the shoulders of Sardinia, Piedmont, under its ruler King Victor Emmanuel II, to unify the Italian states through war. So now it became clear, after these revolutionaries tried to attempt a revolution and the revolutions failed, that Sardinia, Piedmont will have to take the responsibility. Now, at that time, Cavour was a very, very powerful person in the state of Sardinia, Piedmont. So, he led the movement to unify the regions of Italy. But he was neither a revolutionary like Mazzini or Garibaldi, nor he was a democrat. Like many other wealthy and educated members of the Italian elite, he also spoke French much better than he did Italian. But through his tactful diplomatic alliance with France, he was able to defeat the Austrian forces in 1859. So, in this way, he was able to capture the north part, which was under the Austrian domination. And in 1852, he became the first prime minister of Italy. Now, like Mazzini, there was another revolutionary who is remembered even in the history. That is Garibaldi. Garibaldi was also a revolutionary. So, apart from the regular troops, there were large number of armed volunteers who were fighting for their motherland under the leadership of Giuseppe Garibaldi. They joined the fight with him. So in 1860, they marched into South Italy, and the kingdom of the two Sicilies and succeeded in winning the support of the local peasants in order to drive out the Spanish rulers. If you remember, in the beginning we discussed that the southern part of the Italy was captured by the Bourbon kings of Spain, so they drove the Spanish rulers out of the southern part of Italy. So in this way, the Italy southern part was also united with the help of Garibaldi. Now, next is that in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy, because slowly and steadily, one after the other, they were able to unite each and every state with Italy. And in 1861, Victor Emmanuel II was proclaimed King of United Italy. But the interesting part is that much of the Italian population, among whom rates of illiteracy was very high, remained blissfully unaware of liberal nationalistic ideology. Now, if you see, if you will study it in your higher classes, a detailed and deeper study of Italian unification, you will come to know that most of the people were so illiterate that they were not even aware of this process of nationalist ideology. And especially the peasants who participated in the winning of the southern part of Italy, that is the especially those peasants who supported Garibaldi in southern Italy, they have never heard of the word Italia and believed that La Talia was Victor Emmanuel's wife. So this is a very interesting story, that actually Italia is the southern Italy. In the ancient, this is an ancient name. So now the southern Italy was actually, Italia was applied to a part of what is now southern Italy. So that is why he gave this Italia word. So it was used for the southern part of the Italy. Now, amazingly, these peasants, masses, all those peasants who supported Garibaldi to conquer southern Italy, they have never heard of the word Italia, and they believed instead of taking it Italia, they took it as La Talia, and they thought that this was Victor Emmanuel's wife, and they have to protect their king's wife from the outsiders. So the irony of this word is that the peasants took the opposite meaning of this word Italia, that is La Talia, and they thought it's La Talia in place of Italia. So this is how they jumped into the battle. They fought, they won, and they were not even aware of the fact that they were fighting to unite their own country. So with this, in 1861, Victor Emmanuel became the King of United Italy. Victor Emmanuel II, he became the King of United Italy. Now these are the two maps which will help you to understand Italian unification. One is Italy in 1815, that is before its unification, and other you will see a unified Italy. So with this we finish today's topic. So I do hope that you have enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep watching my videos.